We need to put this
20 seconds. What's that? We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. Break.
Which one is it?
Oh.
Oh, you got to get over here.
Yeah.
Got to go over across the street.
All right, here we go. Good Tuesday evening out there to everybody, and welcome into the Sports Blitz Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Britt Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you tonight till 7 o'clock. We'll actually be with you till 9, Luke. So thought you weren't going to do it at one point in time, then thought I wasn't going to do it at one point in time. So the vacuum of Sports Blitz programming sucks us in together for Tuesday night.
Roomba. It'll get you anywhere. You can't hide.
You can't move. So, but we're excited to be up here at JR Sports Bar and Grill as got a couple of youth league basketball teams that'll be on the show with us tonight, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program and have one of those up here in about 15 minutes or so. But again, we usually take your calls on this program, but we will not be taking your calls tonight. So we're glad that you've tuned us in, but looking forward to all of you that have tuned us in up there on Charter Channel 3 out there in the Lake Martin area. This show is designed to really highlight what goes on in this area, Luke. And last week we mentioned and we talked about several players that made All-State here in high school football from this area, and we've got several from Benjamin Russell that'll be coming back as part of that team that went to the semifinals this past season, or this just a few weeks ago, really. Not to say this past season like it was a year ago, but
it feels that way.
Yeah, it really does. But this team able to go to the fourth round, and Tyree Gray was first team All-State as an athlete, and Nicole Maxwell was second team All-State. He was a junior running back that got very close to eclipsing the 2,000-yard mark. Luke, that's strong, being able to bring somebody like him back. Both of those guys, Tyree and Nicole, had over 1,800 yards rushing in the backfield for Benjamin Russell. Glad to have Nicole coming back. He'll be one of the best running backs in the state next year.
I wonder, just because I'm a recruit, Nick, I wonder what his recruiting offers will end up being. I mean, I wonder if size will be a limitation, or if people will overlook that and say, look, he's just too talented and he doesn't go down on the first hit ever. It seems like to me. The few times I get to see him play, I never saw him go down with one guy tackling him.
I don't think I ever have, Luke. And I'm not trying to be a homer up here, but I've really never seen the first guy come up and really drop Nicole Maxwell. So strong guy, it's always grinding, low center of gravity. Hey, look, the thing about running backs, I know Derrick Henry's kind of the outlier, a big, tall, long. You really don't like your running backs to be that tall. I mean, it's just
more people more of you to hit.
That's exactly right. In the lower center of gravity you have, the better you have as far as balance and being able to navigate your way through the tackles. But that's what Nicole's so good at doing. And his mom came up here last week and talked to us off the air, and it was good to have her in JR's. And she said Nicole is already excited about next year. You know, I heard you call in on Sports Call just a minute ago, and you said, you know, I'm excited about going out to the national championship game and all, but you're as excited about week 1 of the 2016 college football season because of all the interesting matchups. Well, Nicole said as soon as that game was over, he was already looking forward to the next year. And that's what kind of competitor he is. And that's what kind of team that Danny Horn's built over here at Benjamin Russell.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that Benjamin Russell's in the position now where you feel like you're going to be involved every year. And that's all you can ask. And for a high school program, it's especially difficult because it seems like in the past, Benjamin Russell has had those maybe swells of talented classes come through, and then behind those there's a valley. And what you want to have is you want to increase the size of the pool and reduce the valley and the swells.
No
You're
doubt.
always going to have those. I mean, every
I don't know if they're following Auburn's pattern or not.
Yeah, Auburn's pattern is very difficult. I mean, it is very similar. But you can't have Tyree Gray every year.
That's right.
But you want to make it so the next year you can make up for it somehow, some way, and at least become very, very competitive again. You may not make it to the semifinals next year, and I'm not saying they won't. I am saying I don't think they'll make it to the semifinals next year. It would be incredible. I mean, tremendous feat if Benjamin Russell made it to the semifinals next year. This year, I mean, if you've got a guy like Tyree, there's no telling how good it could be. And they were this close to probably winning a state championship.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they really, you know, I don't know what happens in that state championship game if Benjamin Russell plays Clay Chalkville, but I can tell you this, Luke, from calling that game on the state network and watching how quickly, you know, and I hate to say this, and now we can reflect and talk back about this game a little bit more. The further you get away, it seems like the easier it is to talk about. It almost happened too easy in the first half for us in that Spanish Fort game. Things went too good for us. You know, the picking off of the Tyler Johnson inside their territory, being able to drive down the field and score, and you look up on the scoreboard and you're up 27-3, and you know, it just seems to me like you had everything going, and not that we laid off, but we had our opportunities to score points in the second half, but we didn't execute. The mindset is what is, to me, instilled in this team. And, yes, we lost some talented players, but there's some talented guys coming up too, and there's some returning guys that are going to be able to help. You may see a different type of offense, different way of getting things done, but I think this Benjamin Russell team will surprise people next year when they go on the field. And you look at that schedule and already early preliminary look down, I mean, there's a couple of games that you see that are, you know, going to be tough football games. And Benjamin Russell has those at home, and outside of that, you expect them to be at worst 8-2 going into the playoffs, and then you have a chance to have that first round game at home, whether you finish first or second, and then you don't know what happens after that. After that first round, it's about who's playing good and who's got the. I just see this team having another shot at making that run in position. Also, like you said, all you can do is position yourself. And I expect Benjamin Russell to do that again next year.
See, again, while I say I think it would be rather incredible if Benjamin Russell were to make it, losing a guy like Tyree Gray and some of the other talented players they lost. You can have – it's just like all 5 stars aren't created equal.
That's
all
true.
number 1 draft picks aren't created equal. All Heisman winners aren't created equal. Just because this guy wins the Heisman doesn't mean he's as good as a guy who won it 20 years ago.
That's right.
It's not the way it is. It's just that year, that's how it panned out. Same thing with the NFL draft picks. I mean, because this guy was a number 1 pick and this guy was number 1 pick, they're not equal. And I think that next year it may depend on maybe everybody else on Benjamin Russell's schedule got worse too.
Well, I think that's something that you need to look at, because, Luke, you look at the teams that Benjamin Russell played in the playoffs for the teams that competed for the state championship game. No Ty Pigram at Clay Chalkville anymore. No Tyler Johnson at Spanish Fort anymore. No, don't know what's going to end up happening with the quarterback over there at Opelika. His dad is now in South Carolina. I mean, use Jake Bentley, a kid that's going to stick around and play for Opelika one more year as he go back home to South Carolina where he's grown up. And so I don't know what ends up happening there. So, you know, addition by subtraction, just like you said, a lot of the teams that have been the top teams in six, who else is out there? I mean, you tell me who would be the favorite going in to 6A football next year. I mean, obviously Spanish Fort will be up there. They're talented, but, man, Tyler Johnson, we saw last year what happened when he went down.
Right.
They didn't make it.
Right.
So they're going to be without Tyler Johnson in all of those wins. His brother's going to be back at middle linebacker. But, Luke, there's nobody that stands out, and you look across and go, man, we won't have to catch a break to even play with them.
Or hope we just avoid them in the playoffs altogether. I think that if I were choosing right now, and if I knew Jake Bentley was coming back, I probably would pick Opelika to be the favorite. Okay.
But Josh Johnson will be gone. If he decides to go back to South Carolina, I mean, that's a whole different team over there.
I totally agree. It changes everything that you would think about Opelika. I mean, they're still going to be good. I mean, because they've just got too much talent. I mean, we talk about the swells and the valleys. The difference between their swells and valleys isn't very big. But I feel like if they've got Jake Bentley coming back, they're going to be the favorite. If they don't have him coming back, I don't even know that they're top 10.
That's how vastly different that football team can look with those two guys gone. We know Josh Johnson's gone for sure, but will Jake Bentley be there to run that offense? And look, both of us fell victim of having to go to Spanish Fort. I mean, the week before, Opelika goes down there, and they didn't play very well at all. Probably the worst game Jake Bentley played all year. And they get beat. You know, we go down there and do the opposite. We go down there and play maybe the best half of football outside of Saraland that we played all year, and then we kind of tank it in the second half. So
right.
I don't know. It's kind of odd, but the other teams in this area, Luke, look for Coosa Central to continue to get better. They made it to the playoffs for the first time in a long time this year. They got a new coach over there. That program's on fire. Horseshoe Bend with Coach Franklin and that staff look to turn things around and get back to where they can compete and get to the playoffs. Reeltown, maybe. I don't know. Hold your breath. We'll be without Jackie O'Neal. We thought he was going to be without him this past year, but he decided to come back. I really think he'll be gone this year. So, man, what a difference it'll be down in Reeltown, Alabama, not having Jackie O'Neal on the sideline.
I have this mental image of Jackie O'Neal going all Johnny Manziel from this past weekend.
With a mustache.
He puts a mustache and some funny glasses and a blonde wig on, and he goes out there and they say, "Oh, it's Mackie O'Keel. He's our new coach." Where did he come from? We don't know much about him.
I could see that too, but a Hall of Fame coach. He's already in the high school Hall of Fame. So Reeltown definitely won't be the same without him down there. And then Dable Tigers. I mean, what will happen with that team that, Sean D. Jennings, who was injured halfway through the season, they didn't get a chance to have him. Margarius Buchanan, what ends up happening with him this year? Does he stay at quarterback? Does he go back to running back? What's the situation there? Central Clay, what will they do? I'm like you. I mean, as much as we get excited about college, we get just as excited about high school and what might happen with that. So we're going to go ahead and take our first break. We come back, Luke, we'll have our first basketball team up here of the night, and Youth League basketball just starting here in Allen City area. 25 teams in Youth League basketball here in this area, man. Everything is just continuing to grow. It's exciting. Stay tuned. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup presented by JR's right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you till 7 o'clock tonight, and going to welcome up our first youth league team of the 2016 year. Luke, this is the first. This is what we talk about on this program a lot. This is what we enjoy, having all these different youth league teams up here, no matter what sport it is. And this is the 5- and 6-year-old Warriors will be the first youth team of 2016 here on Sports Blitz.
Excited about it, and they're named the Golden State Warriors. They're exciting.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Yarbrough over here. I just talked to you a minute ago. I said, you just do what I do. You just float from one sport to the next, and but that's what makes it fun. You just don't ever quit, right?
No, I don't ever quit. It's fun working with these kids. Go from football to basketball to softball, and it's just a joy to be around each one of them, watch them grow.
Well, you're starting them early here, 5 and 6. You're gonna get to watch them grow, and just talk about what you do with a 5- and 6-year-old team, and a lot of people out there listening may say, what do you do with a group of 5- and 6-year-olds on a basketball court? You just throw the ball out there and let them go, or what do you? I mean, that's basically what you do a lot of times. But you do want to teach them something. You want them to learn something. It didn't matter what age. I mean, Tiger Woods started playing golf when he was 3.
That's right.
So I mean, he got out there and he was at least swinging the club, and all of a sudden you realize, man, this kid's got talent. You just said that one of your kids isn't here tonight, and he's 5, but you can already tell he can play.
Oh yeah, I can tell he's going to be the real thing as he gets older. And we got 4 boys and a girl.
There you go.
I got my granddaughter, and she can hold her own against them.
There you go. Hey.
I wanted to start her off in City League because City League physical. Sometimes basketball you got to be physical.
It's a physical sport. Yeah.
So a lot of people don't think it is, but it is physical. But it's a joy just to be able to watch the kids, teach them how to dribble.
Yes.
Teach them how to do the layup and shoot free throws. If you watch college basketball now, you see so many free throws that's missed.
Team maker.
If shooting is the name of the game, if you can teach them to shoot free throws, I mean, you got to continuously work on that because you get a lot of fouls in a 5- and 6-year-old.
Of course. Kind of like holding in football. You can call it on every play. You probably could call a foul on every time. But you got 3 of the 5 here tonight. A couple couldn't make it tonight here to JR's. This is the 5- and 6-year-old Warriors.
They had
here.
Sponsorship commitments, Brad.
The sponsorship
that's
commitments.
what it was.
Stuff they had to take care of. The future of the NBA right here at JR Sports Bar and Grill. So let's start here, and I'll let you take it away and let you bring them up one at a time, and let's hear who they are.
All right, we'll let the cute young lady come on up first. How are you tonight?
She's looking at you like, do I need to come over here?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing tonight? And what's your name?
Kennedy Ray.
Kennedy Ray. And what position do you play?
Guard.
Guard. How much are you enjoying basketball this year?
A lot.
Okay, and how many points do you usually get a game?
Well, considering they hadn't played a game yet.
How many points do you want to get a game?
Tell him you're working on about 6 a game.
She wants to get 100.
Well, 100. I mean, hey, shoot for the moon. So
all right, thank you.
Nothing wrong with that. Thank you so much, Kennedy.
Let's let the next one come on up.
All right.
I like the way she thinks.
That's
shoot
right.
for the moon.
That's right. I should have told you they hadn't played a game yet. That's my fault.
I know. That's I just walk up here and interview people.
You just grab the microphone. Don't know what you're talking about.
How you doing, young man?
Good.
Good. And what's your name?
Andre.
Your name is Andre? Okay. And what position do you play?
Guard.
Guard. Okay. Have you played basketball before?
Yes.
And who's your favorite team?
You stumped him, Luke.
Let's just say this: Alabama or Auburn?
Got to be Auburn.
Auburn, okay.
There you go.
Well,
There you go.
Well, you know what? It's an unfair advantage when the coach is wearing an Auburn shirt, and that's going to depend on the playing time.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Andre.
Thank you, Andre. Manipulation starts at an early age. What can you say? What can you say?
How you doing, big man? Good. And what's your name?
Devlin.
Have you played basketball before? And so this is how many years have you been in the league?
4 times.
4 times. Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
There you go.
He started when he was about 1. I like it. That's a talented kid right there. How many points do you think you'll be scoring a game?
90.
90.
90?
So
Okay,
she
we'll look
scored
at I like that.
100,
She scored
and he
100.
scored 90. You know, they may be the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
need
got to
some more
watch this guy
basketball.
over here. You'll be stacking the team. You know,
Thank you, big man.
That's why we named him the Warriors, because I knew they was going to be scoring a lot.
There's going to be shooting a lot. Well, I'll tell you something, Coach. When I coached a 5- and 6-year-old many moons ago, I did something I never thought I'd see happen on a basketball court. I got shut out 21-0. So you can't do any worse than that. I'm just letting you know. If times get tough, you just remember Luke Robinson got shut out as a basketball coach.
Very hard to do, by the way.
It wasn't hard for. Hey, Brett, it was a lot easier than I'm making it sound. I'm telling you.
Well, Coach, looks like again a great group of kids, and looks like you may have stacked it with all these high scores, 190 points. I don't know if there's going to be. I don't know if there's going to be exactly. Tell us when you start. When does your first game start?
We'll probably start playing Monday. Sonny, he's not through with the schedule and all. Then we'll play, a couple of games during the week. Then we might play some on Saturday. But it's just a joy to be able to go over there and watch these kids run up and down the floor and shoot the basketball and have fun. Smile, have fun. That's what it's about.
Sonny told me that we have about 25 teams total in the league, like all ages. But that is outstanding. I mean, that is so good to see that you got a big youth league going on, and just like our baseball and our softball teams, and then our football teams. You and I both coach youth league football, and we've seen how that's grown over the last few years.
Yeah.
So. Exciting to see. That's what feeds your high school programs, your middle school programs, your high school programs. You learn at a young age, and youth athletics all throughout, whether it's golf or wrestling or whatever, is really flourishing right now in Alex City.
It is, and it's that's the way like you said, that's the way you grow your high school program, your junior high programs. We don't have that many girls that's playing in the basketball league, but I'm hoping to see that grow more.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
You got to start that feeds the junior high program.
Oh, of course it does.
I was talking to Coach Sammy Teal the other week, and he told me, he said, I used to referee the city league. He said, that's the way I chose my basketball team. He said, I knew who was coming up to the 7th grade.
He already had an idea.
He said, I knew what they could do. So, that's how you grow your programs around here.
It is how you grow your programs. But, thank you so much for coming up here tonight, being the first youth team to be on Sports Blitz in the year 2016. Going to have a lot of other teams up here throughout the year, but somebody's got to be first. Glad it was you guys.
Well, I thank y'all for having us, and thank JRs for letting the kids come up here and do this. It's a lot of fun to them. They enjoy it. I told them last week we'd probably do it sometime, and I didn't know it was going to be this quick.
There you go.
But they was excited about doing it.
Well,
so thank y'all.
Yeah, we can tell. Got a great group of kids. Thank you so much for what you do with youth athletics here in Alexander City. That's Coach Yarber there with the 5- and 6-year-old Warriors. Won't be hearing the last of them. Going to be scoring hundreds of points out there on the floor.
You'll see 100 points.
100 points out there from the 5- and 6-year-old group. Going to take a break. When we come back, Luke will join me, and we'll continue on. Stay tuned. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup presented by JRs right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Lee Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you for about 25 more minutes or so. Hoping to have one more Youth League team up here to join us in just a little bit, Luke. But glad to have the 5- and 6-year-old Warriors up here to start things off. It probably wouldn't have done would have done you a little bit of good to know they hadn't played a game yet. But, you went ahead and set the bar high for them on their points per game is what they were aspiring for.
That's what I like. I like for kids to aim high. That's what we always tell them. And we're watching this Auburn-South Carolina game right behind you, Brett, and it's got more turnovers than Pepperidge Farms. And Auburn just threw another one. I've never seen anything like it.
This is a crazy start, 24-16. South Carolina, scratch that. It's 27-16. We got to get to some business here on Sports Blitz. I want to go to the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Player of the Week, sponsored by U.S. Ameribank, Luke. And the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Player of the Week, sponsored by U.S. Ameribank, is the entire BRHS basketball team. They won the Lake Martin Slam Fest Championship over Stanhope Elmore, 65-54 over here at the gym at Benjamin Russell. So they had a good tournament. We're able to beat some really good teams, advance to that championship game, and defeat Stanhope Elmore 65-54. So what started off with a rough start for Coach Hines and this boys basketball team has really turned around. They've won several games now. They got some guys getting in the flow. A lot of those, again, these football players going so deep in the playoffs, you can say what you want to. You can say about being in shape, but being in basketball shape is a lot different than being in football shape and vice versa.
Well, that's also being mentally prepared, because you go through the football playoffs, you get to the semifinals, you lose in relatively heartbreaking fashion the way Benjamin Russell did, and then you've got to come back and you just got to pretend like, well, that didn't happen, and just start playing basketball like it's nothing. It just doesn't work that way. I think kids got to get over it too, because this Benjamin Russell crowd in football was totally prepared to think we're going to win the state championship. That was what they were geared towards. And so there's
especially at halftime of that Spanish Fort game.
There's no doubt they had some disappointment, and then
you go right into the basketball the next week. So.
And it's tough, and like you said, it's a whole different set of muscles. I mean, it's a lot to do. I mean, if you think you can do it, go play a flag football game and then try and play a basketball game the next day. It just doesn't work out very well.
It doesn't. But congratulations to Jeff Hines and that boys basketball team for really picking it up and getting a lot better and improving each and every week. And just like we knew they would, we knew that they would be a team that would do that. A lot of talent on that team, so congratulations.
And I do have an announcement. WAXC coverage of the area basketball will begin here very soon. AXC TV will be presenting replays of the area high school basketball, joined by play-by-play host David Burkhalter for all the exciting action. The teams that will be covered are Benjamin Russell, Dadeville, Central Coosa, Central Clay, and Horseshoe Bend. BRHS and Dadeville first-round matchups from the Lake Martin Slam Fest tournament are currently airing, with coverage of the BRHS tournament championship to air at 9 p.m. on Thursday. So tonight the crew will be traveling to Horseshoe Bend to cover the Generals in their matchup against Reeltown. So it's good that we're going to have a lot of wow.
Hey, I know about dropping the mic. But, just say what you got to say and drop the mic. So
well, it's good that we actually are going to have some coverage for the basketball teams around here, and I think that can only look. We're going to have apparently some young kids scoring 90 and 100 points a game. We got to start getting coverage of this early. Get on top of this thing.
You got to get something going here. So,
a couple of other notes really quickly, Brett. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
I'm watching up here. Look, some other guys that have announced for the draft that have some ties to this state one way or another. Jalen Ramsey, who at one time looked like he was going to be headed to Alabama, ended up choosing Florida State. He is going to declare for the NFL draft. Also, Chris Jones, a name a lot of people may remember from you and I calling him in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. And if you remember, Brett, that's how I remember a lot of these guys. They were talking about Ryan Anderson the other day, and I still, to this day, remember vividly that was the most intimidated I've ever been by somebody at this Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game when I was giving him an interview. He looked like he wanted to tackle me, and not just because I'm who I am. I think he wanted to tackle whoever was in front of him.
Yeah.
And he was ready to play that day. Chris Jones, remember, won the MVP for Mississippi.
I do.
And he was massive. I mean, he was taller than me. He was just – I could have hidden behind him very easily. And I said, that kid's going to be an NFL player. There's no doubt about it. And now he's entered early into the NFL draft, and good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck.
Big loss for Mississippi State, though.
Yeah, it's a huge loss for Mississippi State. So, again, these guys are coming out. When's the latest they can declare?
I believe it is next week. The 19th, I believe, is a date that stands out.
Yeah.
So not next week, the week after next.
So
they give them a little bit of time after the
national championship.
After the national championship, I know that. So I'm going to say it's the 19th, but I'm not 100%.
Going to be interesting to see a lot more of that. We'll talk about on the flip side over there at Sports Blitz Live. We're going to take another break. We come back. We'll have another youth league basketball team up here with us here in the Alexander City area. So you want to stay right there. Stay tuned. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup presented by JR's right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you till 7 o'clock. And we won't take your phone calls tonight, so we'll be here with you till 7, and then we'll be at Sports Blitz Live. got Demetrius Felician up here now with us, Fuji, as everybody calls you around these parts. And glad to have you up here, my man. Happy New Year to you, first of all.
Yeah, same to you, Mr. Brett, man. Happy New Year to you also, man. Just a blessing to be back home, and I love it here.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love being here at in Alex City. I chose to stay here. I think me and you both had opportunities to go other places, but stay here. And it's a great community to raise a family in. It's a great community to be around. You see at a restaurant like JR Sports Bar and Grill that opens their arms all the time to youth athletics. And you guys, you've been an influence on these kids, a lot of youth, and you know that's it takes a village to raise a child. I know you hear that statement all the time, but you choose to coach and be a part of youth sports here in Alex City, and just tell everybody what leads you to do this, and in each and every season you don't stop. I mean, you're involved constantly, and just like anybody else, you can be doing other things with your time, but you choose to spend it with the youth.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Brad. You said, man. My upbringing really brought me back home. Because growing up, you know, I didn't really have no leadership. You know what I'm saying? The older guys that I looked up to, they never gave back. They never took the time out just to say, hey, I'm glad you came out to one of my games or whatnot like that. So once I started seeing that, man, I was practicing. As I started getting good and I started getting a lot of feedback from other places, man. Of course, I could have went other places and did that, but this is my hometown. Why not start here with these kids? And that's one thing these kids, now generation, as I see on Facebook and Twitter and all that, Tallapoosa kind of need a good role model. And that's what I'm trying to do for these kids, man. Just give back to my community.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And you look around and how fortunate we are here in Tallapoosa County and the Lake Martin area to have a lot of people that truly care about our kids, because there's so many communities out there that don't. They don't have a great place to raise their kids. They don't have a safe community in a great city like we have here. And sometimes that when you have something good, you take it for granted. It's human nature. It's not that you do it on purpose, but you know, when things are good for you, you just don't think any otherwise. You think, well, you know, everybody else is like this, but you go and you travel and you take an all-star teams other places, gone to other communities, and you truly come back to Alex City and you're thankful for the facilities that we have, the things that we do have in this community.
Exactly, Brett. And some of these kids don't realize that, man. I've been a lot of places. I'm talking about I done traveled to the United States, man, for the last 5 years.
Been overseas? Been
overseas a little bit. Out in Quebec and Canada a little bit. You know, I'm still pressing. I just signed a new deal with the semi-pro team out in Auburn. But, you know, right here in LA City, man, we do have a lot of facilities that are good.
We do.
You know, and I'm trying to use them all. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of help or leadership or anything I can do for these kids, man, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Fuji. And I'll tell you one thing, what we'll do now is take a break. We come up. Get your kids, have them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Miami Heat will be up here with us when we come back. Stay tuned. More of the Lake Martin Sports Roundup presented by JR's right after this. I don't know what happened to our headset, so I'm trying to mess. Things went out. One, two, 1, 2. I want you to do these. Yep. Something happened to our headsets. We're not hearing each other cleaning our headsets. Something happened to our.
Can you hear me through this?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me through this?
Yeah, I can hear you. But our headsets went out. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that amp went out down here or what.
Hey, y'all got it. Point guard, shooting guard, forward, all right? Got it? Yeah. Point guard, shooting guard, forwards, all right? What?
You got to be in Alabama.
Who was that? Who was that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah. No, it's the, I know who you're talking about.
You gonna talk?
1 minute. That's her right there.
Hey, make sure you talk loud, man.
Look.
Make sure you say your name and your position
I think
loud,
she
man.
I think she did. I think she did. All right. All righty. How you do?
Hey, Mr. Brett, when you'll be back in office, man?
I'll be back in my office tomorrow.
Okay.
Come up there.
Yeah, yes, sir. Cause you remember we had bought that little sponsorship package. Maybe you can help me in a direction to go with with that little semi-protein.
Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everyone, to the Lake Martin Sports Roundup Show presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. About 10 minutes or so left in the night show. It's been a great show up here. Earlier, we had the 5- and 6-year-old Warriors up here, and now, Fuji, you got your Heat up here, Miami Heat team. What's the age group?
9 and 10.
9 and 10.
And so, Fuji, you got to learn not to be distracted. You know, you're going to have people. How are you supposed to teach them about free throws when you're getting distracted over there?
My little girl, man, she's something serious, man.
I wonder where she gets that from. No comment. No comment. So, well, Luke, again, we always are excited to have the kids up here, so I'll let you go ahead and take it away. First one.
I like this first one. Come on up here, big man. My buddy Landon, how's it going?
Good.
And just tell everybody your name.
Landon.
Good to see you. And tell me, have you guys played a game yet? I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way, Brett, since you didn't tell me.
No, sir.
Okay, what position do you play?
Point guard.
And how many points do you think you're going to get a game this year?
I don't know.
Hey.
All right, well, what are you aiming for? Give me a goal.
10.
10. That's a good number. I like reasonable. Reasonable.
You go.
You're a point guard, right? So you're going to dish the ball out, right? I like it. Good job, Landon. Thank you, buddy. I coached Landon back in the day. He's a player now. He gets after it.
Back in the day, and he's 9.
Yeah, back in the day, that's true. It wasn't for me. It was back in the day. How you doing, big man? What's your name?
Carter.
Good. How you doing?
Good.
And how long have you been playing basketball?
I don't know.
Is this your first year?
About 2 years.
And what position do you play?
Shooting guard.
And who's your favorite NBA player?
LeBron.
I don't know.
LeBron.
Okay, good enough.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah, that's just we're gonna just fill in the blank right there. Thank you, buddy.
Right here.
Is this Trouble?
I've had him in. Yeah. I just let him say
what's your name, Trouble?
Carlson.
All right. I like it. And how old are you, buddy?
I'm 11.
You're 11. And how many years have you been playing basketball?
2 years.
2 years. And let me guess, shooting guard.
Yeah, shooting guard.
I like it. And how many points? I bet you'll tell me. How many points are you going to score a game?
20.
I dig it.
They said,
I dig it. I knew it. I knew I could count on you, big
with
man.
his
Thank
chest
you.
puffed out. I wouldn't expect anything else.
I would. I'm just surprised he didn't say 30.
Here's another one. Here comes another one.
Like it.
Double trouble.
I like it. How's it going? And what's your name?
My name is Savon Spradlin.
All right. I like it. Going with the first and last name.
Let you know who.
And how many years you been playing basketball?
2.
2. Did you know I had the same haircut 2 years ago?
No, I didn't.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you this year, okay?
All right, Savon.
And what's your name, buddy?
Steve Smith.
And how old are you?
11.
Who's your favorite NBA player?
Probably Stephen Curry.
He seems to be pretty popular right now.
I want just somebody to throw out Tim Duncan one time.
Not gonna happen. I bet it's not.
Thank you,
gonna
big
happen.
man.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right.
Here we go.
And what's your name?
Jesse Yates.
Jesse. And so are you the only girl on the team?
Yes, sir.
How does that feel?
Bad.
But have you been shooting pretty well? Have you blocked anybody's shot yet? I bet you when you block somebody's shot, everybody gets fired up, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Good. How many points do you expect to score a game?
5.
Oh, come on. Go higher. I'm going to say higher. Like Card Sharks. Go higher. You say 8.5. I like 8.5. Average 8.5 and a couple of assists. Be the utility player. I dig it. Thanks for coming up. You got a good group there, Fuji.
Yeah. With her being on the girl, man, I tell my young guys to protect our little princess right there.
There you go. There you go.
And that's what those guys do, though, man. They protect her, man. That's a good group right there, man.
Now, does every team have a girl on it?
Yes, sir. At least just one.
At least one.
Yeah.
But some of them have more than one?
I think so. But every team got at least
and
one.
And how many
girl.
teams are there?
4 in the 9 and 10-year-old.
Okay.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck to y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
That's
that.
great, man. Well, again, best of luck to you guys. I know they got a great coach up here. They're gonna really do the right thing. And you know, to me, Luke, that's the most important thing is having somebody that and Sonny does a great job of getting the coaches that want to be part of it and want to teach and instill good things in our kids because you know, it's being a coach isn't easy, Fuji, and you know that. And you know, we all have to, you know, every kid I've ever coached, you love them like your own kid, but sometimes you have to be. And we got our volume back, so I don't know what happened there. But you know, you love them like your own kid. But one of the things that you have to do sometimes is, you know, with your own kid, you have to be tough on them. You have to for them to teach them to do the right things, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. But you know, down the line, they'll come back and thank you and say, "Look, I appreciate you." You know, sitting me down for a play or taking me out of the game or doing something like that to teach me how to be a better person.
Yes, sir. And that's one thing I like about my parents. They let me coach them. You know what I'm saying?
It takes good parents.
It really does. And that's what I do, man. I coach them hard, man. But one thing, they do listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it shows, too, out there at practice each and every day. Like when we leave here, we got a scrimmage game at 7:30.
There you go.
So I think we prepared well, and I hope they just do a good job tonight, though.
Well, I'm sure they will, Fuji, and getting off to a good start. Hopefully I have you guys back up here toward the end of the season, kind of talk about what this team did.
Yes,
so
sir. I sure would like that, man. I sure appreciate y'all having us out tonight.
Fuji, appreciate you coming out, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here from JR Sports Bar and Grill. Going to do a little bit early tonight, Justin, back here in the studio. So we're going to run some extra commercials as we head into Sports Blitz Live. So if you're picking up back there, we will go ahead and this will be our final break here of the program, and we'll get ready to bring you Sports Blitz Live at 7 o'clock. So nobody go anywhere. We'll be right here at 7 o'clock for Sports Blitz Live. For Lou Robinson, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we enjoyed it up here at JR Sports Bar and Grill. We hope you did.